Do you ever wonder where we go after this? Are you high right now? Do you ever get nervous?
Glad you're here. Welcome to Modern Investing Techniques, episode 110. Today is July 18th, 2026. I'm Patrick, broadcasting from Vancouver. Let's look at what the markets are telling us today and find some opportunities. Quick reminder, everything we discuss here is for education and entertainment. The practice investment of the day uses simulated trades with no real money. I'm not a licensed financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice. Always do your own research before putting real money to work. Oil supply risks are rising as U.S. strikes on Iran disrupt Gulf shipping, potentially lifting energy holdings in your TFSA. Markets opened lower today with the S&P 500 at 7,458, down 1.0%. The NASDAQ Composite sat at 25,520, down 1.4%. The TSX Composite came in at 35,264, off just 0.2%. Geopolitical tensions from renewed U.S. strikes and Iranian attacks on Gulf infrastructure are squeezing global oil supply from multiple directions. The Bank of Canada decision is scheduled for July 24th, with markets pricing in steady rates. The Fed meeting at the end of the month shows limited odds of an immediate cut. Energy names are leading on supply concerns while tech faces rotation pressure. Portfolio performance data against the NASDAQ is unavailable in today's briefing. ASML holds exclusive control over extreme ultraviolet lithography machines. That monopoly positions the company at the center of advanced chip and high-bandwidth memory production, i.e., infrastructure build-out is accelerating demand faster than capacity can expand. Investors can screen for similar bottlenecks by checking patent filings and capital expenditure trends on platforms like Yahoo Finance or Company 10Ks. The approach has historically delivered outperformance during technology adoption cycles. Concentration risk remains if end demand slows. Pair any position with a 20-day volume check to confirm institutional follow-through before entry. The strategy works best when paired with sector rotation signals rather than standalone valuation screens. For the practice investment of the day, we are taking no new position. The catalyst is the U.S. strikes and Iranian attacks tightening global oil supply from two directions at once. Technical setups in energy names are not yet closing above their 50-day moving average, with volume exceeding the 20-day average. Geopolitical headlines can reverse quickly, so no entry until volume spike materializes. This is a low-confidence setup because it is a single-factor story without volume or technical confirmation. The approach demonstrates how to sit on the sidelines during a cold streak while maintaining a defined trigger list. Listeners learn to require multiple aligned factors before committing capital rather than forcing trades on narrative alone. This is a simulated trade for educational purposes only. Yesterday's trade review shows no newly closed trades since the last review. Current holdings remain open and pending their scheduled evaluation. The BOTZ ETF tracks global robotics and AI automation companies. It gives Canadian investors a single ticker way to participate in the $124 billion AI hub buildout without picking individual names. Use it inside a TFSA for tax-free growth on sector rotation themes. It is available commission-free on most platforms including Wealthsimple and Questrade. DeepSeek's $74 billion private valuation ahead of an onshore IPO provides a benchmark for comparing public AI multiples. Investors can use this data point in valuation screens to assess whether listed names like NVIDIA appear cheap or expensive relative to private peers. Bitcoin price action remains range-bound between $62,500 and $65,500, according to investing.com. There is no breakout confirmation visible on the charts at this time. This situation limits opportunities for short-term momentum trades in the cryptocurrency space. Investors are advised to hold CAD cash until a clear rotation signal appears. The supertrend support level on hourly charts is holding but without upward momentum. No new positions are recommended in this environment. The source for this analysis is investing.com reporting on cryptocurrency news. Tesla posted record Q2 deliveries that beat expectations. The July 22nd earnings report will determine whether margins justify the move. Add TSLA to your watch list for post-earnings volume confirmation. The company achieved its best second quarter ever according to the latest data. Investors should monitor whether the upcoming earnings justify further upside. The source for these delivery figures is Fool.com. UBS projects the space economy TAM at $1.3 trillion by 2040. The forecast highlights long-term infrastructure spending that could support related equities. Watch for a retest of sector support levels before adding exposure. This projection comes from UBS research on the space sector. Long-term spending trends may create opportunities in infrastructure-related names. Investors are encouraged to monitor support levels on the charts. The source for the TAM projection is investing.com. China smartphone makers are shifting to agentic AI features. Device sales slowdown is prompting new capabilities that may support select semiconductor suppliers. Trim precious metals exposure if gold closes below recent support. The transition to agentic AI is a response to slower device sales growth. Select semiconductor suppliers could benefit from these new features. Precious metals positioning should be reviewed if support levels break. The source for this industry shift is investing.com. Portfolio performance data is unavailable in today's briefing, so we cannot report win rate or cumulative alpha. Now here is something most retail investors get wrong, and it cost me money before I figured it out. Imagine you bought an energy ETF last quarter when oil supply headlines first emerged. Your target allocation was 15%, but drift from price moves has pushed it to 19%. Rebalancing requires calculating current weights using end-of-quarter market values, then comparing against your written policy ranges. Professionals always check realized versus unrealized gains first to decide whether loss harvesting in non-registered accounts can offset the rebalance. Export your brokerage CSV. Sum dividend income separately from price appreciation, and subtract total fees paid over the quarter before deciding on new positions. The biggest mistake with quarterly reviews is treating them as performance scorecards instead of allocation and tax planning exercises. Run the decision checklist in this order: asset allocation drift, position sizing limits, tax loss opportunities, then new capital deployment. Before we wrap, check one energy name or ETF tomorrow for a 50-day moving average above the 200-day average with volume above the 20-day average. That's modern investing techniques for today. If you found this useful, share it with a fellow investor and subscribe wherever you listen. Check the resources page for tools and platforms we discussed. We're back tomorrow. Keep learning, keep investing. And if you'd rather watch than listen, find us on YouTube at NARA Network. Links in the show notes. Quick tip from the network: try models and agents for beginners next. Artificial intelligence explained simply for beginners and curious teens. Every NARA Network show is free at naranetwork.com. Live dashboards, TSLA, SpaceX launches, the investing scoreboard are all at naranetwork.com/data. This episode used AI voice synthesis of my voice. Editorial selection and analysis are my own.
Do you ever wonder where we go after this? Are you high right now? Do you ever get nervous? Do you ever stay awake, counting sheep like all the time? What's your life like? What's your purpose? When's your birthday? What's your sign? Are you down right now? Are you stuck up in the past? Are you still thinking about all the times that you didn't last?